Yo, what's going on, guys? So in today's edition of Shikamaru Shinden, we're going to be tackling a subject that I think a lot of you guys are definitely going to be signing up for, which is we're going to be going back to the tension that you got with the Shippuden era. So I know one of the problems that a lot of people say they have with the Boruto series is that, man, like, where's the tension? Where are the stakes? Like, we're watching Chocho and Anko go on the mission to recover the stolen sweet bean jam sauce and the secret recipes and everything. Why is it that we're not getting any real conflict? And so what Shikamaru Shinden actually does is it takes us into the behind the scenes inner workings of just how fragile this peace between the five great nations is, and it speaks to a bigger theme that was not talked about enough in the fourth great ninja war in the Naruto community, in my opinion, which was Madara and Sasuke were on to something. They said this stuff will not actually last as it is, especially Sasuke. He and Naruto basically get into this miniature debate before they actually have their final confrontation. Sasuke says, like, it took something like Madara, Uchiha, and Kaguya to unite. Now, I'm paraphrasing Sasuke's words, but he says, in order to unite the five great nations, they needed an external threat in order to unite them. What happens when there is no external threat? But that was a huge topic right there, because Sasuke rightfully predicted, like, hey, this current system, this will not work. So how that plays into today's video is Shikamaru, after meeting with Hinoko, and what she tells him is essentially that everything that happened at the Five Kage Summit when Kurosuke kind of blew up at Konoha and was making all this fuss about the ninja weapon tech tools and saying that, like, look, once Konoha masters the ninja weapon tech, they can essentially turn regular Ganin into Naruto. Naruto can seal in lava style Rasen Shuriken or Biju Dama into a ninja weapon tech, and that's gonna be a huge problem for everybody. Shikamaru was looking at it like something else is going on here. And so what Hinoko says is that, like, look, it's actually the feudal lord that is making Kurosuke do this. It's the feudal lord. And so Hinoko breaks down for Shikamaru what exactly is making the feudal lord do this. So essentially, there's a small country called the Land of Flowers that is part of the Hidden Cloud Village's territory. And so what they want to do is they want to invade that nation because of how rough the soil is in the land of Earth. They can't grow as much food as they want to. They're really struggling. They're depending on trade at that point. Because that country of the Land of Flowers is part of the Land of Lightning's territory, essentially by invading that nation and making Kurosuke do it, it's causing war between the Land of Lightning and it's causing war between the Land of Earth. And so that's why she was positioning herself during the Five Kage Summit. So Shikamaru takes this information and goes to Naruto, and Naruto's first words at this is the fact that, well, if the Land of Lightning goes into it, they have to back the Land of Lightning. And Naruto looks at the situation and says, under no circumstances am I sending my son onto the battlefield. My son is not ready for ninja war. And what Naruto thinks about in this moment is the death of Neji. With the scene finally being set, I want you guys to keep in mind the feudal lords are the ones that pull the strings of the Kages. Now, with the scene being set, it's here I'm going to begin quoting, and I'll come back to you guys with my further thoughts and analysis. So it's here, I quote, Naruto gritted his teeth. He might have been the purest person Shikamaru knew. Naruto believed utterly in people's ability to come together and understand one another. To his credit, Naruto's lofty goodwill had indeed changed many of people. He had even bridged the gap with his good friend who had stepped off the path and become a rogue ninja, and had gotten him to choose the path of living as comrades once more. There was no way that this Naruto would be able to quietly accept what Shikamaru was saying, that war was coming. But Shikamaru needed Naruto to understand reality. People couldn't live on ideals alone. Kurosuke and the Land of Earth, they had their own agendas. Why would they go invading another country now? Naruto muttered. If they're having a hard time, they could just discuss it with the other nations, and if the Daimyo can't make something work, Kurosuke could just talk to us in a meeting with the Five Kage. If they don't have any good land to farm, a country that has plenty of food could help them out. I mean, what's the whole damn point of these meetings? That's the point of an alliance, Naruto said. Shikamaru felt the same way. The power of the alliance of the hidden villages of the five great nations ripple out to all the mid-sized and small nations on the continent now. If the alliance raised its voice, ninja of the smaller hidden villages wouldn't be able to ignore their call. The Foundation was there to discuss and resolve any issue that arose, and yet the Land of Earth had decided on an attack on the Land of Flowers and trying to make the Hidden Stone Village bend to its will. Human fragility and emotion were clearly intervening in a way that defied logic alone. So this is what old man Inoki said. Shikamaru started, and Naruto lifted his face. He said that the ninja world might be at peace, but a ninja is still a ninja. Shikamaru said, "A ninja's a ninja?" Naruto repeated. Shikamaru nodded silently. If they sat back and watched, the land of Earth would invade, and the calm and peaceful life of the land of flowers would be destroyed by Ninja of the Stone Village, in which case the land of lightning would intervene given its many years of alliance with the land of flowers. So naturally, the land of lightning would also get involved in the struggle. If Chojiro's hidden mist ninja had added their might to the hidden stone village, then the chaos would be further accelerated with war between the three villages. And it wasn't as if Konoha and the hidden sand village would stand by silently. They might all be dragged into a fight that could swallow the entire continent. The fifth great ninja war. The unpleasant words flitted through his mind. If they were once again pulled into a great war, they wouldn't be able to bring it to an end the way they had done last time. There was no external enemy to unite them. Everything would collapse. Led by the Daimyo, the five great nations would withdraw into the shells of their own countries, and the ninja of the hidden villages would be forced onto a path of blood, mindlessly killing ninja from other villages. And this unproductive fighting would continue for all of eternity yet again. The hero who had ended the Great War looked up, his eyes full of sadness. Whatever else we do, we have to stop this war. Our kids don't know real war. For them, this peaceful village is the world of the ninja. Old man Inoki's ninja and what Boruto and these kids think a ninja is are fundamentally different things. I don't want those kids to have to go through everything that we experience, Naruto said. The Hokage closed his eyes. And what did he see on the backs of those eyelids now? Was it Neji Hyuga? Itachi Uchiha? So many ninja had been lost in the fierce fighting of the Fourth Great Ninja War. The phantoms that rose up in the back of Shikamaru's own mind were his father and master. The unhealed wounds that he had sealed away deep in his heart throbbed. He pulled a cigarette from his pocket and put it to his lips. There was no smoking in here, so he held it in his mouth. He could feel his master close to him when he did so. That man was always smoking. His shoulders were never tensed up around his ears. He'd given the grumbling Shikamaru the friendly push that he needed. "So, what do we do?" he asked Naruto, wedging the unlit cigarette between his index and his middle fingers. "We have to stop Kurotsuki no matter what." The Hokage's blue eyes shone with the light of resolve. End quote. I gotta keep it real with you, okay? So if you have not jumped on board the line of thinking that the feudal lord system needs to go, that the feudal lords need to be removed, and that system needs to be scrapped, a situation like this should make you come to that type of realization. And this is part of the key problem of what Sasuke was trying to get Naruto to understand, which is the fact that as long as feudal lords are in place, there can never be real peace. If you'll recall, during the Fourth Great Ninja War, one of the things that Obito tried to do was actually kidnap the feudal lords. That's the whole reason why you had Mei and Chojuro. They're part of that team that was protecting the feudal lords, because if Obito and Kabuto were able to get their hands on the feudal lords could simply order the surrender of the Ninja Alliance and order the surrender of the Jinchuriki in exchange for their lives. The feudal lords, what they say actually goes, and the Kages have no choice but to actually follow through with what the feudal lords are saying. They provide the money, they provide the funding for the ninja villages. The ninja villages by themselves do not earn enough money to actually sustain themselves, especially not in this time where the number of missions that are coming through for the ninja villages has actually gone down. And so the Kage are at a bit of a crossroads at this point, and we've seen this on a few different occasions in the Boruto series. Like, the best example is how when you go to the Hidden Mist field trip arc, Chojuro and Mei are talking with Anko and Shino, and as they're talking about the true reason for them being in the Hidden Mist village, it gets stated directly that if the treaty between these nations cannot be agreed upon, we're going to be in a situation where essentially the Hidden Mist village would pull out of the treaty with the Land of Fire and the other five great nations, and they directly say that war will break out between those villages, and it has a ripple effect at that point because the other villages will not stand by idly. They're gonna have to choose sides at that point. And so all that goes back to the actual feudal lords and the sway that they hold over the Kages, which is part of the reason why Shikamaru was looking at this situation as he prepared the report for Naruto and as he filled Naruto in. That's why Shikamaru's like, yo, these feudal lords, as long as they have power, this alliance between the nations is always going to be very fragile. And when you look at Naruto, Naruto even says like, well, if the feudal lords can't actually come to an agreement, maybe Kurasusuke can actually come to us and we can talk things out. And Shikamaru tells him like, look, man, you're looking at things through an idealistic scope right now. There are other things at play here. And what I like about this is when you look at Kakashi's line of thinking in the Kakashi Retsuden novel, one of the things that Kakashi says is that eventually this system has to change. That the Hokage and the feudal lords both need to be removed, and that they need to, if they want to truly establish peace, they need to actually move past actually needing ninja, period. That's very huge right there. And I got a question for you guys. I want to wrap the video up for this one. So I have two questions. Number one, I did this video pretty much unscripted. The only script I had was the actual passage from the light novel. Let me know how you guys like this more easy flowing type of delivery. Let me know how you like that down in the comment section. And then the other question I have for you guys is, where do you stand when it comes to the feudal lords? Do you guys think that the feudal lords need to be removed from power? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.